Hi guys, this is Hero, and today, as you can see, I have the whiteboard out, which means it's a very important topic that I want to make sure that everyone can visually see all the points I'm discussing, and I make sure I don't forget. So today, I'm going to be talking about if you are desiring to stop alcohol or like some kind of substances that you currently you feel like you're utilizing a little bit too much, or that you feel like you shouldn't be utilizing at all. And for some of these points that I bring up, you can kind of apply this to any thing that you feel like you should be stopping in general, okay? But I know this is a big deal for a lot of people, so I'm gonna focus on this. So, first thing first, when it comes to improving yourself and your lifestyle and everything comes in baby steps, okay? You cannot just, decide one day to stop this and then completely change your lifestyle to become a saint, okay? It is not gonna work that way, most likely, okay? You're just not gonna be able to handle the changes. Similarly, if you're someone who spends who's, let's just say, so many, dozens of pounds overweight, you're sitting in front of the TV, munching on cookies and chips and pizza and fried foods all day, you cannot just get up one day, decide that you're gonna do a full, hour plus workout every day, plus cardio, and just completely switch your diet 360 and, start eating only clean, healthy foods, okay? It is not going to happen. It is going to be too big of a shock for you, okay? So I suggest, if you're, first thing is first, that I don't even have on the whiteboard that I just remember right now, if you're aspiring to stop these things, do not try to be Buddha himself and try to change your whole life completely. Just focus on stopping this, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is that even with this, if you try to take it in baby steps, depending on how bad your situation is, and if you relapse, that is okay. There's absolutely no judgment or anything like that. It's mainly just about the direction you're heading in. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. The first point I'm going to bring up is the 3 chakras. And so the 3 chakras represent your lower self, right? So the 3 chakras in your lower self are earth, water, and fire. Now, you might be wondering, why am I bringing this up at all? Well, when you're doing some kind of alcohol or drugs or something like this, you're most likely activating one of the areas of your lower self, which is, you might not be able to spiritually recognize it, but your attachment to, the experiences related to your lower self is what's driving you to keep doing it again and again and again. So if you haven't watched my Chakras video, you can watch that. I explain it more in detail. But for example, let's just pick water, okay? Your water chakra has a lot to do with emotions. Now, how would you say this ties into this? Well, when you're doing this kind of stuff, a lot of us on a day-to-day basis, we're trained subconsciously by just the environment we live in to suppress our emotions. So when we do this, it does stuff to our brains to kind of, release some of those emotions, okay? So it gives us a lot of those emotional experiences, which, our lower self craves very much, okay? If we have some kind of anger, we can release that. If we have some kind of, sexual frustration, we can release that emotionally. Okay. That's why, needless to say, a lot of bad decisions, happen when you're under the influence of something, because, we're able to, express the emotions unhealthily in an ungrounded way, because everything's just coming out at once. When we're under the influence. Just another example, earth, okay? Earth has to do with a lot of physical things, food, okay? I don't know if you guys have ever, smoked or drank anything like that, but I can tell you the food tastes a lot better afterwards, okay? And anything else physical, like sex or something like that, it's gonna feel a lot better also, okay? So some other experiences like, let's just say you're going out for a walk, the air will feel better on your skin, stuff like that, okay? It just activates. Fire has to do with, your identity, right? Fire has a huge connection to sun. So it has a lot to do, the fire chakra has a lot to do with identity. So when you're under the influence, you're letting go of all the judgments you have of yourself. You're kind of throwing them out the window for a little bit, okay? So you are, when you do that, you feel more validated and accepted in an unhealthy way, okay? Because you've been shoving that down so much. When you take this kind of stuff, it just comes out like a spring or something. I'm not saying the right example, but yeah. Now, just to tie this in, how do we fix this? So we need to detach from these things in general, okay? In order to enhance our ability to abstain this stuff, okay? What do I mean by this? If you're addicted to eating food, most likely, if you're drinking a lot and stuff like that, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to give it up if you're so used to how good the food tastes, is after you've been taking these kind of substances. Okay? If you are unhealthily suppressing your emotions, you're going to have a hard time letting this go. So I'd work on healthily, meditating and learning how to express those emotions properly. If you don't feel confident too much within yourself, I'd healthily, meditate and accept all the fears that you have up here in your mind related to identity. Let's just say, you don't feel you're good looking enough or whatever the situation is, rather than using this as a supplement for that. Okay, I know we kind of hear all these things a little bit here and there, but I'm kind of trying to tie it together in one video so that if you or someone else in your life is trying to stop this, they can kind of have like a bigger picture and how to tackle the whole thing at once rather than bits and pieces. Because you try to tackle bits and pieces, it's not going to work out that well, because if you tackle, let's just say this one, this might come back and it's already hard enough to stop it as it is. Okay, you want to attack all of them at once and kind of get the ball rolling. Okay, now moving on. Expectations and validation. This is not the same as this. This fire chakra has more to do with, okay, when you go out in public, if you're drunk or high, you just feel more confident. This is not that. This is, let's just say you have a group of buddies who always, every Friday you guys get together and you drink or something, okay? Or every Tuesday and Thursday you guys get together and you smoke, after dinner or something like this, okay? Or even if you have like a member of the opposite sex that, you get together with, casually or non-casually, but a big part of your routine is drinking and smoking, okay? When you stop this, you're going to feel some type of judgment from this group or that person, because it's like, dude, like this was our thing. Like this was part of our thing. Like, getting crossfaded every Wednesday or something like that. Okay. So I have a partial solution here. Partial solution is to distance yourself from these people. Now, why do I say partial solution? Well, you cannot just run away from every single instance where alcohol, especially alcohol, but sometimes this also, but especially alcohol is provided, okay? For example, there's a lot of gatherings and stuff where, there could be alcohol, and there might be some gatherings and stuff where, you've drank a lot with the people at that gathering. Some of these people could be close friends and family, okay? You could not just get rid of all these people from your life just because you're trying to stop alcohol, okay? I mean, there are extremes, but in the general sense. Now, so what do we do here? So the reason why we distance is because if there's people in your life that are literally just absolutely no good for you, okay, like they just constantly just get you doing bad things, then you might want to distance yourself a little bit. And even if there's people in your life that, you have a serious karmic bond with, like, for example, like siblings or something like this, but, they're doing a lot of this stuff, you just kind of want to distance yourself from these people and understand that they're also on their own path, that we do not want to judge these people. Okay, most likely if you're trying to stop alcohol and stuff, you've had your fair share of drinking and stuff like this. But we need to find a balance, okay? There's two extremes. Okay, there's the extreme of, completely cutting these people off, and there's the extreme of completely trying to change these people, okay? We want to find some balance in the middle. Mental consumption, I honestly forgot what this means. Hopefully I'll forget by the time I end this video. Now, boredom. Okay, a big part of this is when you stop, you feel bored, okay? Our brain is just so used to, having some that kind of stimulus, and, we do this kind of stuff so much that I remember what the mental consumption means. So expectations and validation, mental consumption. In our society, it is literally almost considered normal or expected, especially to drink alcohol, okay? All the music, especially rap music, has like, I'm drinking and smoking and blah, blah, blah. All like movies have like, this bar scene where this couple meets up and then, they hook up and they're together for life. This alcohol and drugs is very, very ingrained in the media we consume, okay? So we want to ideally stop the media we consume, but we also want to acknowledge that this is affecting you and everyone else all the time, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, boredom. So when we get bored, so if you're currently drinking and smoking, most likely you're looking forward to, that once a week or once a month or once a day even session of you doing this because, you're just so bored and then, you're just looking forward to, Friday night getting, hammered after work or, just after work on a regular basis, just smoking or something like this. So when you don't do this stuff, you're going to get bored. Okay. Now there's two things I'm going to recommend here. One is find, now this, you've probably heard before, but this you haven't, but this will help you do this, okay? So this one, activity. So you guys all know, okay? If you've ever tried and you're asking for advice, go to the gym, meditate, do yoga, stuff like that. I currently have this, this YouTube channel where a lot of people ask me questions, so that fills up a lot of my time. But you need to find something to fill up your time, okay? And don't do it with more social media. Okay, or TV or something like that. Try to find something. Try to find people, if you are blessed enough to have people that you are close to in your that you're close to in your physical life, try to make plans to actually meet them. Okay, without drinking and smoking. Just go there and hang out or something like that. Don't necessarily hop on social media and get that fake sense of intimacy or link up with people that if there wasn't any alcohol or drugs involved that you wouldn't be linking up with them, okay? Because you're basically just using them as an excuse to have some company while you do this kind of stuff, okay? Again, try to find ideally some kind of spiritual community. Okay, I've been blessed that every Sunday I attend Shiva temple. But see if there's some kind of spiritual community that can get you on board because the people you surround yourself with, at the end of the day, you guys have probably heard this, has a big influence on yourself, okay? Even just meeting up with people once a week on Sunday, it'll get your week started amazingly, okay? And you see other people that are on the same path as you, that are dealing with the same obstacles as you, and, they might be your age, they might be a little bit older, a little bit more, experienced, they might be a little bit younger, and they might be possibly looking up to you, and stuff like that. So you want to do this just so you kind of know that, it's not just everyone is just the people you're surrounding yourself with are just, doing, these kind of activities. Okay. There are people out there that are trying to elevate themselves spiritually, people that you can, meet with once a week in real life and, ideally. Okay. So, and when you see these people in person and ideally, it has a different effect on the brain than if you were to see them online, but online still works if that's your only choice. Okay. The last point I'm going to make is that there is an excuse that drugs and alcohol open up your brain. Okay, this is more for LSD and acid and stuff like that, but this can also work for marijuana and even alcohol. Okay, it just releases stress or it opens up. I see things in a different perspective, all this kind of stuff. Okay, first thing I will touch on. There are some natural solutions that, God has provided us through this earth. Like, for example, some mushrooms and even some plants like marijuana. But the stuff we consume today is not natural. Okay, let me give you an example. Marijuana has been extremely, extremely hybridized to have a lot more THC in them than they really should. Okay, and that's going to mess with your vibration and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so same thing with mushrooms. Okay, same thing with almost anything out there. It's been hybridized. It's been processed in some kind of way that it is not good for you. Okay, if you have some kind of natural plant, you're going in some rural village in some some certain area of some country or something. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't know everything about everything. Okay, I do acknowledge that there's some stuff that I don't know. But for the majority of the population, especially in the Western world, if you're smoking or you're taking mushrooms or something, most likely just understand that that stuff has been hybridized and processed to be basically almost unnatural. Okay, just a slight heads up. The other one. Yeah, and even if it does open up your brain, even the natural substances, like I said, in moderation, it's good. But I'm assuming I'm talking about only the natural substances. But even the natural substances, if you take more than you should, and especially the fake stuff, if you do that to open up your brain, what's happening is you're relying on that to open up your brain. Okay, it's like you shouldn't have to rely on any like chemical or something like that to do something. You should just naturally meditate and, you know, holistically increase your vibration. Okay, just like if you have trouble falling asleep, you ideally should acknowledge the root cause of what's going on in your brain that's preventing you from falling asleep. Okay, you should not just go ahead and take a sleeping pill blindly. Okay, that's in my spiritual opinion, I'm saying. Okay. So that's that. You want to tackle make sure you cover all these points if you're trying to acknowledge this mission. And remember what I said at the beginning, okay? This is a marathon, not a race. Do not stop alcohol, and then the next day, you know, let go of all material life. It is not going to work that easy unless you went through some crazy experience. But yeah, just remember, take it slow, okay? But just keep these 4 points in mind. Take it slow, but still work hard, okay? That's a very Saturnish lesson for those into astrology, okay? Take it slowly, but also work hard, and then you'll see consistent progress over time. And before you know it,